Hi guys. Last time in class we talked about the different banner types, and we also talked about the history of banner advertisement or display ads. And then we started talking about the programmatic ads, campaigns, and the automation. Let's go over it in more details right now. So programmatic advertising is all about the real-time bidding. Real-time bidding is like the magic word when we're talking about programmatic advertising or display advertising. RTB, real-time bidding. So this is a very important keyword in this area. And with programmatic advertising, what happens is an automation of bidding and all in real time. So this is what you really need to know here. So the ecosystem, you can look at it. We're going to build up on this view, but as a foundation, you can look at it as a two-sided ecosystem. Publisher on one side, which is you as a blogger or a vlogger, and an advertiser or an agency, a business. The business or the agency wants to buy. In fact, they're not buying the space on the on the publisher's website or digital property. In fact, they are buying the view. Why? Because they have a specific criteria of audience that they would like them to see their ad copies or creatives. So one of the common ways that the display ad is bought and sold is the advertiser here will buy directly from the publisher, but this is only if the publisher is very well known. And we already know that they have a specific traffic, and we know that, for example, Yahoo Finance attracts audience interested in finance area. The publisher has its own sales team, of course, the Yahoo, for example, and they sell directly to the advertiser. And this is typically, we call it, it is a contract based, it's a premium placement. So it is kind of guaranteed basis. This is how we describe it. Examples, for example, you might be the advertiser who wants to buy an ad space on a home page like Yahoo, and this will be on a guaranteed basis, and you will buy it for this is what we call it, a premium placement. Because the website is a very well-known website and it has very high traffic. The second way of doing an advertising, and this is a disruptive way, is the mediation. In the mediation, you will have an ad network here that aggregates the inventory. The ad network here aggregates the inventory, the space. For example, all the bloggers, all the YouTubers would like to host or post and display advertisements on their digital property. What they do is they sign up to AdSense, for example, Google AdSense. And Google AdSense as an ad agency or an ad network will aggregate and organize the inventory, the ad inventory. Here, an ad inventory is not the ad creatives. Here, an ad inventory is actually the ad space, the placeholders, the space on the publisher's sites. So they package it, they aggregate it and package it or segment it or group it into, for example, channel like contextual or audience like retargeting, and or you can group it based on the payment, either cost per mille or cost per click or cost per action. So you can do retargeting, you can do contextual channels like native advertising or editorial ads, and so on. With this ad network, the inventory is typically sold on a non-guaranteed basis. So the guaranteed basis is the conventional. This is often an inventory that a publisher can sell directly because nobody knows the publisher with their direct sales team. They don't maybe even have a sales team. And it's leftover inventory that flows into an ad network, and the ad network then is an indirect channel that sells out the inventory. But also another example would be you, me, and him who have a digital property would like to advertise on it. So examples of an ad network would be Microsoft Media Network. It's a Microsoft Audience Network. Right now it's called Microsoft Audience Network on Bing. And the advertising.com. This is now I think it's called something, or it was called Virgin Media. Now the most important part, so now we understand over here on the publisher side we will have an ad network that aggregates and packages the inventory, the ad inventory, which is the ad space. And now we have the mediator, which is the ad exchange server or the ad exchange. The ad exchange is a very important concept when we're talking about programmatic advertising because it is the marketplace. What does a marketplace mean? A marketplace is a place where you buy and you sell. So over here there is the buying, and over here there is the selling. So this is this side is the side that supplies the space, the ad space, the inventory. This side supplies, this side sells. S starts with an S, supplier side or supplies, and this side is the side that buys. So the ad exchange here allows for a marketplace kind of functionality for buying and selling the ad inventory. So now you, within these couple of minutes now, you were ready to understand what an ad inventory is, marketplace, ad exchange. Sometimes, and also publisher, advertiser, supply side, demand side, sell side, buy side, right? It is sometimes like the New York Stock Exchange, of course, so you can buy and sell, and based on the intensity, the competition intensity, and many different other variables in the ecosystem, there will be an auction that determines the highest bid and price. Advertisers then can buy that inventory in real time. This is also a very important word that I highlighted already, real time, so that they can bid on audiences. So they don't really bid on space, they bid on audience. And this is something that I started to help you understand from the last class. The bidding happens on audiences, the bidding happen on views. They want to reach in real time. They can buy those audiences through the ad exchange. Who participates in the ad exchange then? Of course, you could imagine the ad exchange as a stock exchange. Only the largest brokerage houses actually plug into, let's say, the New York Stock Exchange. So the ad exchange word here works with AdSense. Then through AdSense, you are actually working with the ad exchange. And this is an extra layer around the ad exchange, a bigger layer that works with the ad exchange directly. You can't work with the ad exchange directly, but through a mediating layer. So the large online publishers or sellers websites like portals, entertainment sites, and news sites, ad networks, and agencies, of course the ad agencies, ad networks like AdSense, holding companies that operate networks like buyers. Those all, unfortunately, like companies that that connect websites with advertisers. But unfortunately, you as a small entity, as a blogger or a vlogger, you can't work with the ad exchange directly. So what are some of the examples of an ad exchange? We have the DoubleClick ad exchange and the Facebook ad exchange. Now the DoubleClick ad exchange has changed names, and as I've showed you in class, the DoubleClick ad exchange now is in fact called Google Marketing Platform. And this is in 2018, in July 2018, they unified their double-click advertiser products and the Google Analytics 360 suite under a single brand, which is the Google Marketing Platform. So this happened in 2018. It's still there, but it's all under one umbrella. Now, let's talk a little bit about what does the ad exchange mean for the display advertising ecosystem, for the sellers and for the buyers. Let's start with the sellers. The sellers. Who are the sellers again? The sellers are the suppliers of the ad inventory. An ad inventory is an ad space. Okay, so these guys, like the bloggers and the vloggers, they can make the most money for their ad space. Every time there would be a valuable view, hopefully, on their page. So basically, every time the page loads, hopefully there's a view, of course, behind it that's worth some money on the other side of the ad exchange. So this is called an impression or a view. Yeah, so this is called an impression, or let me here add a view. All right. So in the past, too many sellers had inventory unsold or sold for a price that is not its optimal price. So this is one of the things I also talked about with marketers. Marketing in general is about optimality. Optimal. What does optimal mean? Optimal means in its best shape, in its maximum profit, in its minimum cost. So it's an ideal, it's in its best way. You squeeze everything to the end, so you seize an opportunity. This means that you squeeze it all the way to the end. So you need to, this kind of mediation has helped many sellers get the best value, get the fair market share, market value, sorry. Also, it helped them get access to many more advertisers. So what does that mean? This means that if I create very good content, I maybe can monetize it. If I have really very good content, why not then work with an ad network like AdSense and, well, start monetizing my website, my digital property. Benefit from simplified reporting and payments. Also, while using these tools, as you can see here, these two guys at the double click, actually, why not I add here with you guys that double click here has joined forces with what we call it the Google Analytics 360. So Google Analytics 360 with this ad exchange together, yeah, joined forces so that they are now called I would love a yellow color here. So they would both be called Google Google Marketing Platform. Yeah, so these joined forces together. Maybe we need the same color here. Okay, insert. No. All right. Now, this way you won't forget that now this is called the Google the Google Marketing Platform, joining forces together. All right. So having the 300 Google Analytics 360 joining forces with the ad exchange under one umbrella helps you as a seller benefit from simplified reporting and payment. Do you see why I highlighted that and a little bit modified that slide? So you don't have to really memorize the things per se, but understand it. Now let's let's talk about buyers in the ad exchange. They also get access to so many different websites, meaning many different impressions and audience. Can also use technology that allows them to bid for an ad space. So basically, instead of paying a flat rate, you will pay based on the intent value. So you bid for an ad space in real time. So this is fair trade, fair value, depending on how much they value a particular ad impression. So it's all about the impression. So you're paying for the impression and have more control over your ads, where they run and where they don't run. So that is also very important. Okay, having this all said, we will have then knowing or an understanding that this ad exchange is something big, and individuals here on each extreme can't work directly with it and have to work with it through a mediating layer. Then we will have what is called the demand side platform, the DSP. So in economics, you have the demand side, usually the customer or the client. So the way you understand it is that the advertiser is who pays the fee, right? So a person who pays is your customer. So this is actually your customer. This is your partner, the publisher. Because what happens is the advertiser pays and you provides the service to the advertiser and also to the publisher, which is basically posting advertisements on the publisher's site. Then you get the money from the publisher, you capture value from the advertiser, and then you deliver the value to the publisher through part of the fee that you earned from the advertiser. Usually you keep the commission and then you pay the publisher the remaining. So this is fair. This is a very good business model. It's a win-win. It's actually win-win-win situation. Let's go back to the demand side platform. So this is the advertiser. This is the person, the side that pays money. This is the buyer. So it is the demand side. So this is the demand side, and to buy inventory on the ad exchange, the advertiser needs a layer of technology that called the demand side platform, like Google Ads. The demand side platform, of course, has the real-time bidding capabilities to bid on that inventory within the exchange. So the interface for you is, for example, Google Ads, but behind the scenes, there is the servers and the algorithms that allow for a real-time bidding. And it also has a lot of other features that benefit the advertiser. We talked about some features over here. Why and what does it mean for the buyer? We said get access to many websites and ad space, pay for the fair share of the impression, and, well, have some control where to run your advertisements. Now, let's learn a little bit more. You can do the campaign management. So again, you can here benefit from some reporting. So you can do the campaign management over here, like managing campaigns across exchanges. And then we have the conversion tracking. So tracking the success of your campaigns. This is, of course, we talked about the UTM technology that helps with the tracking. And then you have the fraud protection. That is very important. I'm going to highlight this. This is very important, the fraud protection. So this prevents campaigns from bots, proxies, and suspicious IPs. And then we have the automated optimization. So you keep your budget within limits and under your control. So it allows you to cap, just like likewise as in search advertising, or in search as in search ads, you also have control over your budget and over your spending. Then we have the bidding strategies like the cost per mille, the cost per cost per impressions. So you can optimize also. So the automated optimization and automated bidding and control of budget, these could easily be understood from the search paid as paid search ads. The paid search ads. The conversion tracking, we talked about it with the UTM technology used. Campaign management and different reporting also mentioned for the seller. And then the fraud detection, protection is very important here. Now let's talk about some features of the demand side platform. We have the real-time bidding. So if I ask you a question in the quiz, where is the real-time bidding? Where does the real-time bidding happen, on the demand side platform or on the supply side platform? Definitely it's on the demand side platform, all right? So the real-time bidding happens on the demand side platform, but actually it doesn't happen only there. In fact, it happened. The final destination is here, the demand side platform, but it also, the ad exchange feeds information into the demand side platform from the supply side, right? Yeah. Or let's say that the whole process is triggered first from the audience landing on the publisher in milliseconds. Yeah. Centralized campaign management. Yeah. Global controls like frequency capping and budget pacing. So the budget pacing, we talked about it, like you can control your budget. And the frequency capping also, this is, if you guys remember when we talked about the paid search ads, we talked about the impression share. So this is what it means, similar to what the impressions share is. And unified campaign tracking and reporting, again the same situation. Optimization to meet the advertiser's objective, this is for advanced features. And fraud protection. So basically I'm just repeating these again. I don't know why I have them again and again. Probably I should just delete these and keep this slide less crowded, and probably this is what I'm trying to do, in fact. So I don't really need this. I probably have to just keep it here. All right, so over here there's an advertiser or the demand side platform. They can do either the guaranteed contracts or the guaranteed basis kind of business in T0 and TN. T is like time. And then you have the real-time bidding in TN and TN plus 1. So this means that for guaranteed contracts, you have to meet at T0, which is before TN. You have to meet and decide on every the budgeting details of the campaign, so that TN will happen, which is when the impression is sold. While in our real-time bidding, in RTB, what happens is you are triggered at TN, and then yeah, TN plus 1, this is where you get your estimated impressions. Yeah, so in any case, this is just you don't have to pay very close attention to this. It's just that this happens in, there's pre stage to the guaranteed contracts, but there isn't for the RTB. The demand side platform, as mentioned is a layer of technology the advertiser needs to buy on an ad exchange. It has a real-time bidding capabilities, the demand side, and has global controls like frequency capping and budget pacing across all the inventory within the ad exchanges, and typically has some kind of optimization to best meet the advertiser's performance goals. Again and again, I think what I forgot to do is to mention this is, I think I took it from a report, a very long report written about the technology and explaining what the technology is all about, that I read, and it was really interesting, but it's kind of very advanced, and it's kind of introductory for programmers and developers who would like to work on this area. But for us, we just would like to know on the outset, how does it work. Okay, so this is about real-time bidding. Real-time bidding is one of the biggest benefits of the demand-side platform. And one of the things that we could do with the real-time bidding is we are bidding in real time on impressions, on audience. So audience targeting is one of the benefits of real-time bidding. So one of the benefits of the ad exchange is real-time bidding, and one of the benefits of the real-time bidding is actually audience targeting. But with audience targeting, you need another layer of data or information coming from the audience, yeah? And I'm going to talk about it in the upcoming slides. So the audience targeting allows an advertiser to reach their high intent, high value audiences. So this is a key term, high intent and high value audiences. So this is also another breakthrough. It's not only that fast, but also allows us to reach our high intent, high value audiences, all this in real time at a scale. What does at a scale means? At the scale, if you guys remember when we talked about the video network, the YouTube basically, always at a scale across the web to drive conversions or performance goals. So real-time bidding process. Let's talk a little bit about the process. First of all, the publisher makes their ad inventory available in an ad exchange. A visitor comes. So the ad exchange holds an auction for each impression when the impression comes. A bid request is sent to the DSP that will place a bid on behalf of the advertiser. So the ad exchange here holds an auction for each impression. A bid request is sent to the DSP. A bid request. So the ad auction, the ad auction happens in the ad exchange. The auction happens in the ad exchange, but the ad exchange sends a request to the demand side platform for a bid, how much you're gonna bid for it. And this is where the optimization of the bid happening, yeah? Who will place a bid on behalf of the advertisers? So this is who will place a bid on behalf of the advertisers optimally, hopefully. The demand side platform then evaluates each impression and determines a bid amount based on its value to the advertiser. Winning bid is chosen, it's one bid is chosen, and the ad is shown on the publisher's site. This process takes time in milliseconds only. All right. So here is the sell side platform or the supply side platform, and this is the demand side platform. So the process begins by the publisher registering through an ad network, registering their inventory there. The inventory is there. Then comes the, in fact, the audience, a person, an impression that visits a publisher. And this impression has a certain intent value. So what happens is this side sends a notification, an alert to the ad exchange that we have an impression over here on this website. There is already evaluation of this impression, evaluation of the publisher side, what's the context of the publisher side, what kind of audience, what kind of person is actually viewing the page, and then over here it sends a request for a bid. Which ad is supposed to be served? Which ad that if we serve, will give us the optimal for which ad should be served to this audience, to this impression, so as to maximize benefits for all parties. For the advertiser, meaning that how relevant is the audience landing on a page, on a publisher's page, is to different advertisers. So this is taken into account. How relevant is the impression to the advertiser? Second, the advertiser, how much the advertiser is willing to bid on such impression. And If these conditions meet or are satisfied, then it is also a winning situation for the ad exchange. The ad management platform compiles audience data. The data management platform. So now we're going to talk about the data management platform, meaning how do we and where do we house and store and compile data about audiences in the data management platform. As you can see, it's shedding its light over all parties of the ecosystem. So the data management platform compiles the audience data from various sources and makes it actionable for different channels, so that they can adjust the third-party data providers and also the first-party data providers. Let's talk about these in the subsequent slide. I think I have a very interesting slide that talks about the difference between and the definition of what is the first party, second party, and third party data provider. So these are also some new concepts for you today. So what is a third party data provider and what is a first party data provider? Yeah. So first party data providers are like website visitors, offline CRM data, and second party data providers can also adjust first, second, and third party data and make it actionable. So basically, these data management platforms collect data from first party data providers, second party data providers, third party data providers. So who are the first party? What's the first party data provider? What's the second party data provider, and so on? So we talked about the DMP compiles audience data from various sources, it makes it actionable and all that. So we have the online site behavior, the behavior of the audience and the visitors on an online site. This is the first party data provider. Also the offline. Now a second party data provider is like the CRM data. The CRM data that collected and aggregated, a little bit analyzed in the company. So first party data is collected directly from the audience about their browsing history, behavior, purchase behavior, and so on. Now the second party data provider is the website that crunches data on the customers, for example, and provided, for example, I give you an example for retargeting. So you give, or for lookalike targeting or lookalike modeling. So I crunch my data, I segment my customers into cohorts, and I decide that this is the high intent, the high valuable cohort of my customers. So what happens is I provide a data, basically maybe descriptive data on what kind of customers they are, or I could just provide their emails, and then the third party data provider will have analytical capabilities to actually collect more information from first party to other second party data providers about this list of emails, and then start targeting similar audiences. I have some examples for you, so don't worry about it. I'm going to revisit this again and give you some case studies. Let's take a look at this very interesting set of this interesting slide. So over here I have the audience data in ingestion. So it comes from the first party data. This is like online and offline data on site visitors, like web analytics. actually CRM data and point of sale data, if it is not crunched and it is just collected from the company as is, it's also considered the first party data. Second party data is a partner data. For example, if you are a very big corporation and let's say that you outsource your analytics for a certain consultancy company, and this consultancy company knows more about the industry because they focus on your industry, so they know the for example, a certain threshold level, benchmarking figures and so on. If the data, the CRM data, is empowered or enriched with such insights, if you are outsourcing the analytics and is enriched by using such extra or external knowledge and data, then it becomes second party data. But if but the CRM data and point of sale, this point of sale, POS means point of sale, and point of sale is basically the cashier data, like the automation data. All this kind of data, guys, is considered first party. But if you have a partner data, for example, we have Mitsubishi company. This Mitsubishi holding company is it has Mitsubishi Bank, Mitsubishi Insurance, Mitsubishi Investment, Mitsubishi Heavy Industry, Mitsubishi Energy, Mitsubishi Space, and so on. So these are all partner data. For example, Nora is using a life insurance and also a bank account, and she decided that maybe she's an investor and she's gonna also have a business account with them and so on. So in this case, even though each company is under the same umbrella, but they are partners, they are standalone entities, but yet they are under the same umbrella, so they can use each other's data. Third party data this is what we call it, the data partner integrations. Data partner integration here is, as I explained earlier, if you take your CRM point of sale or even your other partner data, which is a data collected through another partner, and then, for example, give it to a company, a consultancy company that can integrate it together and add some intelligence to it, then this becomes a third party data. So first party data is you're the one who collected the data, either through analytical techniques or tools or whatever, but you're the one who collected the data. Second party data is collected through another partner, your partner, basically maybe like in a holding company, they are partners under the same umbrella. Third party data is a data usually collected by a third party or crunched, and some data added through a third party data. So also third party companies exist where they can collect more data for you about existing customers, and they can help provide you with insights. Now, using all this data, the audience data, either from first party, second party, and third party, you can do the segmentation. You can identify and segment high value audiences, syndicate for targeting, better targeting and relevance, and also you can do lookalike modeling. And I explained lookalike modeling. It's basically you give little information, and then these third party data can create such models that helps you identify, like for example, one of the examples that I will discuss with you, that they found out in big hotel, one big very fancy luxury hotel, found out that most of their clients, not clients, but let's say the visitor, the guests that book their suites are actually also into golf. How would they know such an information? It's because they use the third party data, collecting data on their guests, and they understood that a big portion of their guests actually go to golf courts. So now we understand where we can see them, where we can meet them, where we can target them, and so on. So this is an example of how to get more data on through lookalike modeling. Or they are interested in a certain sport or. So what does that tell you? That tells you that if you could have a golf course kind of one of your hotels or resorts have a golf course, you may have a very good chance of retaining these guests. One view of marketing effectiveness, all right. Then we have the omni-channel or the multi-channel delivery. So you can have either websites, search ads, mobile ads, video, and social media. Basically, this is the Google Ads networks, different Google Ads networks. So the data management platform could also help identify and segment high value audiences, right? And those audiences that are syndicated out to external ad targeting platforms. Syndicated out to external targeting platforms, so through the lookalike modeling. It could also have other capabilities like lookalike modeling. I think over here I have some explanations, maybe. It's the same. So now we have an ad server. The ad server, we have multiple ad servers in fact, and the ad server usually provide an advertiser with a central location where they can manage their campaigns, so they can manage their creative on one place. They've also reporting in one place for all their display campaigns. So for all the different options, features we talked about earlier, they can manage them all from that one ad server that they can serve the creative and also have this reporting capability in a very holistic kind of view across the different display campaigns that they have. All right, very good. Ad server, there are two main types of ad server. There's the advertiser or the agency ad server, and there's the publisher. So an ad server allows an advertiser do cross publisher creative ad serving, and it has creative ads management capabilities, centralized reporting, track conversions, and for fraud and all that we talked about. So this is repetitive, don't worry about it. So in summary, programmatic ad campaigns use software algorithms and automatically trigger the display of an advertisement when triggered by an event, such as like customers' physical location or they landing on a page. Also, when they are visiting physical, this is very important. Now I'm trying to pave the way for us to talk about what we call it, not retargeting and remarketing. We're going to talk about here location-based advertisements. So there are two more topics. This is the summary here, and there are two more topics I would like to focus on in the future. One topic around this side of the ecosystem, which has to do with retargeting and remarketing. So the advertiser or the business would like to retarget and remarket for a list of audience, a preset list of audience. And the second is around this side. You have the publisher. We talked about the publisher being an online property, but let's talk about location-based advertising as well, and how publisher and actually the audience together, because they're kind of connected here. As the publisher's inventory is triggered only and only if the audience or a potential customer or visitor actually lands the page or uploads the page. So over here on this side, we're going to talk about location-based targeting. How do we target based on the physical location of a customer? We track this physical location through their mobile phones. So these are two extra or advanced topics that would like to discuss in the next class. Over here on this side, we're going to discuss something called retargeting or remarketing, and on this side we're going to discuss something more like location-based advertising. I think for now I've been talking for half an hour, maybe. Yeah, actually 45 minutes. So I will let you go now, guys. Take care of yourself, and I will see you again on Tuesday.